Ho. This is Kal Kat. This is the Kal Kat's turn. It's Christmas Eve. And it's time again for the Clara Awards. The Clara Awards started in 1990, roughly. But as far as the Kal Kat show is concerned, the Clara Awards started in 2009. So, yeah, it's 10 years. But yeah, 10 years. But, so, well, it's 8 years. This is the movies for 2018 here. So, 2018 movies. I've added 3 movies to the list that's on the Google channel at Orcus Kitty. And I'm going to read all of the movies off on this piece of paper here instead of off of the TV screen. It'll just look better. Okay, the Clara Awards, the way it works, it's the movie awards thing. It's personal, favorites of the year. So, can be a popularity contest, can be some movies Mark's Cards approves of. Now, because of the nature of this being the midpoint of that December rush that's in there, that always happens every year, and then the Oscars, people got to scramble the last part of December between Christmas and New Year's to find movies somewhere in obscurity to give their Oscar award show to. In February, when they show the Oscars, they usually grab movies that have not aired anywhere, put them out there. Sometimes they have, though. Last year, they threw a monkey wrench into that by giving it to a fantasy movie about a lady who falls in love with a fish man. So they had to break the mold there because they had to, but it was a good movie. But yeah, so best of the year doesn't necessarily mean the movie's great. Best of the year means it's the best of the year, which is the way it should be. So some years you get stuff like No Country for Old Men, which is a slog to watch. It's not. It was the best of that year, or The English Patient, or something like that. A slog to watch. Or sometimes you get an Oscar movie that completely nails it. Even though Mark's Cards didn't like it, Forrest Gump, Philadelphia, was a better one. Stuff like that. Gone with the Wind, way back in the day. Gone with the Wind is a really, really boring movie. Nothing happens. But no, except for that one Atlanta part. But yeah, it's a classic. Yeah, I don't think Citizen Kane got an Oscar. I was going to say Citizen Kane, but I don't think they got an Oscar. I think Hearst stopped it. But it later was. But yeah, 2001: Space Odyssey. Yeah, fantasy movies have kind of won before, vicariously through Disney and musicals and things like that. 2018 is no exception, apparently, to the rule of there being very few drama movies. Again, very few. 2018 just... there were a couple of really good ones out there. There was... I'm trying to think of it. There were a couple. Like 8th Grade, I guess, was good. There was a weepy tearjerker movie a while back and a horror movie a while back. I didn't see those movies, so I can't rate Get Out because I didn't see it, and I can't rate the 8th Grade. I didn't see it. Maybe Mark's Cards did. Maybe you can add some. So yeah, this is going to inevitably be a 2-parter with the second act airing on New Year's Eve because otherwise, yeah, just in case I have to go see something else that happens to meet criteria, but it'll meet the criteria of drama. But I think, or something to that effect. But I've seen an awful lot of sci-fi, fantasy, action movies over this last year, and the reviews channel has got over 100 videos. So a lot of those were reviews in just one year. So it's well over. It started with 400, and now it's got 520 something. And I just downloaded the Star Trek Binge Watch of Discovery, another episode. So I'm going to read this list off. This is movies I've seen. If I have not seen them, they're not on the list. So it's not like the VMAs, where they say every movie and put it in a category. I put them in different categories. I put them in different categories because it makes sense. A drama and a comedy should not be in the same category. Drama should have its own place. A sci-fi movie or a thriller would have its own place. A horror movie would have its own place. Although thriller and horror movie are kind of related. Sci-fi and comedy are related. Sci-fi and horror are related. But we'll just say, for the sake of argument, that it's not. Animation also can be sci-fi, so it can be action. There's three recent movies that I did see the past week: Bumblebee and Into the Spider-Verse and also Aquaman. Aquaman's not on the list; didn't make it. So just put that out there. It's not on the list. It's okay. It's fine, but it's not the best of the year. Not at all. It's fine. Okay, first movie. This is gonna be my list of stuff. So if you don't like the list, make your own list. So yeah, it doesn't matter if it's just my opinion. Glorious opinion, as one of my professors said. To everybody, this is your glorious opinion you're gonna have. So here, yes, Jan Shaw, retired. Anyway, so yeah, 10 years. She retired about 5 years ago, but the class was 10 years ago. Anyway, so here we have Best Picture in the Comedy category. The nominees are Sorry to Bother You and Cock Blockers. Sorry to Bother You was a movie that was about a telemarketer who happens to be African American, and he inadvertently joins a telemarketing cult, which is running this cult in this building. It's sort of a spoof of like cults in general. It's a spoof of any number of things. I'd say mostly The Raid, and then a bunch of other stuff thrown in. So it's got The Raid in it. It's also got a hilarious scene involving people getting turned into horses. Sounds horrible, but there's a funny scene in the movie where he channels Richard Pryor as it's eerie. He does this Richard Pryor shtick in it where he gets the cocaine stuff, and it's eerie. This actor was spot on with this character. It was amazing. Yeah, amazing movie. And Cock Blockers or Blockers was a movie about three girls that decide to go to the prom and get laid, which would never happen. But let's say in this universe it does. Kind of like the idea of that what men want remake is what women want. Oh, it doesn't work the other way because the whole point was the guy was a jerk. Same thing here. Girls don't act like boys at prom night. They just don't. So the premise doesn't work. I'm not sure why it's on the list, but there's only 2 comedies on the list because mid-90s isn't really a comedy. I guess the Wreck-It Ralph movie could, but it's not. So you have 2 movies to choose from, and clearly the one with the guy channeling Richard Pryor is way better. So in terms thus far, the choice for best comedy will be Sorry to Bother You. It'll be Sorry to Bother You. Sorry to Bother You will be the best. Sorry to Bother You is the best comedy. I just decided that. Sorry to Bother You. Okay, that's the winner so far. Okay, this is an easy pickings. Drama. Drama and comedy are not related, even if some people say dramedy. No, they're not. Drama is the opposite of comedy. You can have comedic motives in a drama, but you cannot have dramatic motives in a comedy. Then you're just a drama again. Okay, so we have Best Picture in the category of drama. A Star is Born, the remake, the 2018 remake with Lady Gaga, and the guy, great chemistry in the movie. Story works. It could be any rags to riches story, American story. A better premise, although very similar to La La Land. However, La La Land is basically ripping off A Star Is Born from the Starshine movies. So they basically remade this other remake of Star Is Born. Just decided to go there and say we are A Star Is Born instead of just calling it something else. The other one called itself La La Land. It's A Star Is Born. They all were. So there's been a version of A Star Is Born given an Oscar only 2 years ago, and now again there's another one. The other one, but it's really good. The songs are good. The characters are good. It's not just because Lady Gaga, although that probably does enter in there. And in Hollywood, Lady Gaga is the perfect choice to play Jem. If they ever do a remake of Jem and the Holograms, get her to play. Do that. Get James Gunn to write it, and she can be in it, or something like that. Jem and the Holograms. Do it right. She comes back to the. She's supposed to be a young adult, and I think she can still pull it off. She's 30 now, but I think she can still pull it off. It'll still work. The story. But anyway, so the other choice of drama is Bohemian Rhapsody, which is the dramatic story of the Queen, the British rocker band, which had such cool and uplifting songs in the 80s that they played Live Aid and all that. That even though the lead was pretty gay, Freddie Mercury, everybody thought it was cool. That he was a cool guy. He was cool. So everybody, even the ones that were haters and homophobes, they still liked him because it's cool. Because that was a cool band. They were cool. They weren't quite hardcore. They weren't trying to. Well, they're kind of trying to be, but you don't take them seriously. So yes, Bohemian Rhapsody is a really good movie, a really good drama. It's up there. And then we have Mid-90s, which is an odd little story from one of the guys that did Superbad. He wrote it. Started Jonah Hill. Yeah, about his in the 90s when he was a kid. And it's a skater kid movie. Skater kids. They didn't invent that, incidentally. That's the next generation. It was invented in the 70s, skateboarding. But here we have, and popularized in the early 80s, in my generation. Yes. But not me, I was not a skater. I knew them, though. Not Jonah Hill, but I knew of skaters. So drama. So what's the choices? Well, clearly, best drama of the year is going to have to go to, it was a tough choice because Best Picture is also, going to be awesome and hard to choose. So I decided that Best Drama is A Star Is Born, the 2018 version. A Star Is Born is Best Drama. Okay. Yeah. Because although Bohemian Rhapsody is very close, so I'm going to give it one, but not for that. They were gonna originally cast somebody other than Rami Malek to play Freddie Mercury. It might have worked, but I think it would have been more spoofy. They were gonna get Sacha Baron Cohen, who had imitated him on TV. I think it would have been too spoofy and weird. They got him. It just wouldn't have worked. I mean, he could play him, but he'd be a parody of him as opposed to being like, yeah. So, yeah, there's that. Hold on a second. Saving the Star Trek thing that downloading. Okay, we can fix that. Yeah, this is live, so it's kind of funky. Okay. The next category is documentary. And in documentary, I stuck Bohemian Rhapsody as well. Yeah, so Fahrenheit 11/9 is the Michael Moore movie where he goes on about Flint, Michigan and the Trump administration, indirectly, both together. That's one of them. And yeah, it's a documentary about the government sucking, basically. Everybody sucks. In 2016 election being rigged on both sides and whatnot. Yeah, so it's one of them. Apparently 11/9, not 9/11. 11/9. The next documentary I've claimed that this rock thing is a documentary. Bohemian Rhapsody, and it's followed also by Mid '90s, which probably shouldn't be on there because it's not really a documentary. But yes, okay. The winner of Best Documentary is Bohemian Rhapsody. So it wins documentary, not drama. Because really, drama works, but it's on a par with the other one. But no, Star is Born inches ahead, just a little bit. So they win documentary, Best Documentary. And they have not released the Elton John movie yet. I don't know if that's probably a comedy. It's more like a comedy. Next, I'm gonna have to. I've added to the sci-fi category, sci-fi movies. We have Bumblebee, the new movies that are listed on there. Herbie the Love Bug meets the Transformers meets E.T. And that's not a bad thing. They actually did it right. It's one of the director of Kubo and the Two Strings, Travis Knight. And it actually works as a Transformers movie and as a fun movie. Incidentally, the theater episode that was done a couple of days ago also did feature the Boyds again. It's the same theater at the same time. They were there going to see that movie. They were there, which is funny because found out about that actually later the next day on Sunday when we walked up to Scott and he was all, "Yeah, you were in the movie. We were in the movie together." Oh yeah, should have said hi, but you walked out. But yeah, so yeah, we both saw it at the same times. Anyway, so a Bumblebee movie. Yeah, it's one of them. Yeah. And the next one is Black Panther. Early in the year, Black Panther, the first sci-fi event, Marvel movie with a black superhero and a black villain fighting each other. First one to actually do that with a really well done story and script, although it is basically The Lion King. Like Aquaman is a little bit The Lion King as well as Thor and the other one. This one is too, but they did it right. It was very well done. Yeah, Black Panther. They did it right. The visuals are right. The pacing, the three acts are right. It inches up past Wonder Woman. Oddly enough, Wonder Woman's not on here. I'm gonna just stick it here, but I'm not gonna count it. Wonder Woman, that was also on there, but it was okay. But no, Black Panther is still better. Here we have Avengers: Infinity War, which is the direct sequel to Black Panther. And therefore, things happen in that movie that kind of negate the Black Panther movie. I would say that it's not the best, but it's on the list. Solo, a Star Wars story. Why is that there? Just to be there. But these are different choices. I wanted to pick sci-fi because there was a lot of sci-fi, so I put all of those up there, and I just wrote Wonder Woman in the side there. But the first two acts of the Wonder Woman are amazing, but the last act is a little weak, and it's not as good as Black Panther. So the winner of Sci-Fi Movie of the Year goes to Black Panther, even though Bumblebee is nominated. Black Panther. Yep. Yeah. Wakanda Forever. Yes. And then we have horror movie of the year. And although Get Out, I guess, is really good, I haven't seen it. So Halloween 4.0 and Overlord. Get Out may have been last year, actually. Yeah, there was no Split this year. Last year there was Split. Glass is coming out, but it looks crappy. It looks awful. This is the sequel to Split. It looks terrible. But anyway, Halloween 8, or whatever they're up to, the one where Jamie Lee Curtis comes back as a doomsday prepper, is really good. It's a good movie. They made The Shape, or Michael Myers scary, the character in it, again, and the Killing Machine, Terminator kind of guy. not a robot. He's just a killing machine. And yeah, so they made it scary, and it worked. It was effective. So yeah, and then there's Overlord, which was going to be a Cloverfield movie, but they realized that. Fortunately, they realized that was a bad idea, and just left the Cloverfield stuff out. So it's just Overlord. It's about these these Germans trying to in France trying to make zombies. Yeah, Halloween was about escaped creatures. This one I'm gonna go with the more original concept. I'm gonna go with the more original concept. The winner of horror movie of the year is Overlord. I'm gonna subvert expectations. It's not Halloween. It's Overlord that wins. Yeah. In the action category, I've added Spider-Man into the Spider-Verse. Mission Impossible 6 as well. Yeah, Man and the Wasp. I've added so it's not it is sci-fi, but it's action, but it's thriller. So yeah, I've threw these other ones in there just so I could give something to the other two. Yeah, the Mission Impossible 6 scene was really cool, and the animation thing was really cool. I'm gonna have to go with. Shoot, I mean, I think yeah, because the Bumblebee movie doesn't have that many action pieces in it. So Mission Impossible 6, man. Okay. Yeah. Nope. I'm just gonna do it. Go with the Sony movie. I'm not a shill for Sony. Not at all. Yeah, action movie. Mission Impossible or Spider-Man. Mission Impossible 6 was about Ethan Hunt trying to escape from France or something. There was a big motorcycle chase. Really, really cool. And Ant-Man and the Wasp had some really cool effects too. But I'm going to go with Spider-Man the Spider-Verse. Because it's so kinetic and so hyper and action-packed and it's a cartoon, yes, but it's like, yeah, I kind of got to go with that one. Because that was just, it's amazing. Amazing, spectacular Spider-Man. But yeah, it was really, really awesome. So, yep, Spider-Man. Action. And then we come to animation. And I could include Spider-Man and Spider-Verse there too as well. And just to prove that I'm not completely on point, originally I had Isle of Dogs and Incredibles 2. Isle of Dogs was that weird little Wes Anderson movie with dogs, but very well done. Incredibles 2. Ralph Breaks the Internet. Isn't there another Laika movie thrown in there somewhere? Completely. I think there was. After Kobo, or was there? I think so. If there was, Mark's Cards will point it out. But yes, for now, we have a tie. And it's not The Incredibles 2 and Ralph Breaks the Internet. Animation movie, because of Spider-Man, it climbed up there. Spider-Man into Spider-Verse and Isle of Dogs tie for best animation of the year. Now the best video of the year is only one video in the category. Batman Ninja Batman. So Batman Ninja wins that one. Foreign film, there's only one movie. I've seen some others, but this was just such a bizarre, also kinetic, frantic action picture. In Tehran 2.0 or 2.0. Or as they kept screaming into the camera because they were reading the script that said a dot on it. Dot! Yes. In Tehran 2.0, an Indian Bollywood sci-fi movie from a director who is channeling the Dove-tastic microwave theater guy and has done his own Dove-tastic. Well, of course, that guy's Pakistani, but in this case it's Indian. A little different. But Yeah, it's kind of the same idea. This weird, trippy sort of thing involving birds and a suicidal guy and another guy and a scientist and a giant robot and then another robot and all robots merging together to form to phone things merging together to form a giant robot bird. And a guy getting possessed by the giant evil robot soul and fighting the other robot, and it's just nuts. It's just really, really weird. Forward film, yes, 2.0. Enthron 2.0. Okay, yep. And typical of the Oscars is to read the best and worst actress and actress before getting to picture. So, best actor. Best actor goes to Rami Malek, who plays and who is the lead in Bohemian Rhapsody. Best actor. Best actress goes to Lady Gaga from A Star Is Born. Could have been Steinfeld from Transformers, but no, I wasn't gonna do that. No, it's Lady Gaga. And worst movie of the year, we have three: A Wrinkle in Time, Red Sparrow, and Death Wish. With the winner being probably Red Sparrow, just because it's the best of the worst. The accents are so bad. I'm going to try to Russian accent on sound exacerbating Cohen now. Yes, you cannot do Bolshevik accent. You have to study it for many years. Yes. In-house movie Trans Tech Return of the Shadow Children is best. Yeah. It's the only one. All right. Okay, now we come to Best Picture of the Year. I doubt the Oscars are going to even think of half of these. No, I doubt the Oscars is going to acknowledge Black Panther. It would be awesome if they did. Best Picture of the Year. Okay, here are some of the pictures. Best Film of 2018. My opinion. Glorious opinion. A Star Is Born. Lady Gaga movie. Bumblebee. Transformers 6. The movie about the girl and her car. Black Panther. The first black superhero and supervillain movie, in which they sort of do a Lion King Hamlet kind of adventure in a super futuristic city. And also visit Oakland, which is across the bay from where I am. And here we have next we have Bohemian Rhapsody, the story of Queen, the rock group. Yes, if those of you of the next generation, millennials, that song "We Are the Champions," that's Queen. We are the champions, my friends. Ba-da-bum-bum-bum. It's not the newer guy. It's actually Freddie Mercury. Also that one with Galileo. That's also Bohemian. That's the Bohemian Rhapsody. That's the song. It's very long. It's 6 minutes. They played it. They originally didn't have radio play for that one. Radio Gaga is another one. Radio Gaga, Radio Goo Goo. A funny story. Get to that. That's where Lady Gaga got her name from. From the Bohemian Rhapsody song. Yep. Lady Gaga. That's where it comes from. Radio Gaga, Radio Goo Goo. All we hear is Radio Gaga, Radio Goo Goo. Radio is true. It's new. Yeah. So that wasn't just. That's Queen. Yeah. So a lot of Queen songs in there. So Freddie Mercury died of AIDS in 1991, which sucks. Yes. Yeah. You don't want to. Yeah. And they did address that in the movie. Some of the haters were like, "No, they didn't talk." Yeah, they did. They spent like the last half of the movie talking about it. So off and on, maybe the last third, but it was definitely in there, and they did it right. They did it. It was not pandering or anything. It was definitely worked. Bohemian Rhapsody. This is a tough call. Also, best film, Overlord. And also Avengers: Infinity War and Mission Impossible 6. That's the current one. These are the other choices. Best of the year. Best of the year. What's the best film of the year? Well, even though I've lavished over A Star Is Born for drama, is it really the best of the year? I mean, it's got drama, but it's not Bumblebee. You know what? I'm going to go with. I always tend to go with sometimes ones that are already there are the ones that are more likely. Is it the kind of movie you would kind of want to watch again? That kind of thing. This is the kind of movie that isn't really place best of the year. Oh. So Star Is Born won documentary. Or Star Is Born won drama. Rhapsody won documentary. But is it the best of the year? Well, there's that scene at the end that's quite amazing in Bohemian Rhapsody with the where he does the Live Aid concert. He does everything in there. It was a concert for USA for Africa, the World for Africa, back in the 80s. I remember seeing that on MTV back in the day. Yeah, everybody saw that. But I was glued to it. Watched it. Yeah, it was cool. Yeah. The Champions. Not to be confused with the guy that did the Rocky 3 theme and Rocky 6 theme. That was somebody else. Yeah, that was somebody else. No, we are the champions. We are the champions. Well, it's historic. So is the other one. They're all historic. I think we may have a tie here. I mean, yeah, originality, historical significance of characters going on, whatnot. A Star Is Born is a copy of A Star Is Born. Rhapsody isn't. So for originality, Black Panther, Best Picture of the Year. For documentary, got its point across, Bohemian Rhapsody. Oh no. We get a tie. Black Panther and Bohemian Rhapsody win Best Picture of the Year. The Star Is Born already got it in another category, but it does not get Best Picture. Wow. Oh my goodness. It's an upset. It subverts expectations. No, really, it has the most chemistry in the cast. It has the most. Yeah, it's just a little better, just a little bit. You can say a three-way tie if you want to, but no. I mean, the Panther movie was epic. Comic book movie. Yeah, and maybe. Well, yeah, I'm gonna go with that. Black Panther and Bohemian Rhapsody, Best Picture. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. The Clara Awards this evening. Yeah. So Merry Christmas and Happy New Year's, and the reason that we picked those two is because of the it's in the other category, so it gets to get it there. Yeah, so those two, they really were kind of, yeah. Even if Mark Bernard really didn't care for the guy from Batman. But he was just being contrarian, so. Happy holidays.